Hello, everyone. Hopefully you can hear us, you can see us. Welcome to Heavyweight Gaming. This is our very first Vampire the Masquerade game. We have some wonderful players. Some you may recognize, some you may not. We have Luke and Mel, who you will know from our Tuesday games. And we also have the wonderful Clockwork SJ, who is also here. And we have Beth, who, I don't know, seemed to bribe their way onto the stream somehow by giving me some form of gifts. They also happen to be sat right next to me, so yeah, I let them in, just for funs. We're going to jump into this real quick because there are no sponsors on the Wednesday streams. We like to keep everything to ourselves. So players, are you all ready?
Kind of.
Fine, ready.
It's gravy
We're
time.
ready to
learn.
You're ready to learn. Are you all ready to delve into a world of darkness?
Is the world of darkness ready for us?
We'll find out.
Yes,
It's
we're
gravy
ready.
time.
Very well. Then let us tell a vampire story. The date is the 11th of May, 2020. A year has passed since the national press reported the destruction of Eaton Hall in Cheshire, an explosion caused by a gas leak. It was reported that the Duke of Westminster, Hugh Grosvenor, was thankfully out of the country on business, and that he would start rebuilding the estate in the new year. You all saw this news and you had your own thoughts and feelings towards the matter, but nothing noteworthy. You went about your lives with your jobs, your friends, your families. Your lives were very human. And then they weren't so human. There is no fear as your life is fading away. You feel an unexpected comfort in the arms of the being that has taken your life. You experience surprising calm as it all disappears, drop by drop. It takes your fears, your worries, your dreams, and your joy. And then your conscience vanishes, and all that's left is blackness. You open your eyes. There is a lingering feeling that something is missing, but something else immediately overrides it. It's an electric purr that stirs you awake. Coming back from death is slow. You feel sluggish as you become aware of the room you are in, the company you share. Above and around you are slow swinging hunts of leaves, like the bodies that deathly migration. Beside you are others, also escaping death short. Urge, more pressing, more acute. As you begin to sit up, you feel it for the first time. Hunger. You know, somehow, as you experience the terrible pangs of this hunger, that you are no longer human. Luke, can you describe to me your character?
Yes, I am playing Dan. He is about 5'11"-ish, relatively tall gentleman, completely bald, nice little salt and pepper sort of beard, quite well put together, more kind of bookish in build kind of than anything else.
Mel, can you describe your character, please?
Yep, I'm playing Leah. She is, again, tall, relatively strong. She has got sort of dark red hair, and it's usually just tied back. And she's, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Sean, can you describe your character for us, please?
I'm playing Dr. Alexander Grayson. He is a very prim and proper man, dressed always in a suit, quite over the top, usually. Victorian style brocade waistcoats and the like. He's that strange mix between goth and businessman. He always has a bit of a distance in his eyes and a bit of a charming smile at all times. Almost unsettling.
And Beth, can you please describe your character?
Yeah, I'm playing Grace. About average height for a woman, about 5'9".
Yeah, average height.
Uh,
Average height.
average height.
Average height.
Yeah,
Average
cool.
height. In London,
Thanks, Beth.
Long grey silverish hair, and I wear glasses. I'm very prim and proper. Quite a girly girl. So, heels and dresses.
First for Beth, I'm sure. Even as you all sit still in the cold, quiet room, and you start making out the shapes around you, you feel your first hunger. It is different from any hunger you've ever felt. Like a person starving to death who suddenly smells food. You sense the blood and you know that it will ease this terrible, hollow pain inside you. How will you deal with your first hunger? You smell blood and recognize it as exactly that. The aroma reaches out to you, sweet and tempting. Your eyes fall upon the meat hooks that decorate the room, searching for the choice meal you are craving. There are whole animal carcasses hanging from the hooks, pork, cattle, and yet your gaze locks onto a piece hung in the middle of the room. The brunette mop of hair dangles upside down, together with the stark realization of what your body craves. The corpse of a man wearing blue jeans and a t-shirt. You understand that there's more to this room, but right now you can only focus on him. Can everybody please roll me one of your blood die and let me know the score you get? Luke, what did you roll?
I got an 8.
You do not get hungry. Mel, what did you roll?
5.
You get hungrier. So add a point of hunger to your hunger track. John, what did you get?
A pass.
Good, you do not get hungrier. And Beth, what did you get?
I got a critical success.
You definitely do not get hungrier. Mel, your hunger is colouring all your thoughts, tainting everything you see, hear, and smell. You're beckoned by the flesh body offered to you. Its blood smells stale, but there's also a sweetness to it. You want to drink. What will these others think of you? That doesn't matter. What are you becoming? You may have to think about that later. Right now, feeding is what you want to do most. Sean, Luke, and Beth. First you were drowsy from waking, and now the smell of blood has snapped you into focus. You feel your first hunger significantly. Maybe just a small sip from the dead body would ease the newfound desire. Maybe the animal could give you enough sustenance to carry on. You can try to resist it if you choose. Maybe it's the shame of defiling the dead, how the others in the room would see you, or the dread of drinking blood that holds you back. Maybe you just surrender to the hunger. Beggars aren't the choosers. You now have 3 actions to do as you wish. So what would you all like to do?
Can we see each other in this room?
You can indeed see each other. The fogginess of waking up has drifted away, whilst you have almost like seeing with rose-tinted glasses because of the hunger, you can still make out the other people in the room. Your senses are sharp, so your eyesight is way clearer than 20.
in that case, Alexander would look around and just very, very gently, but definitely accusatory. Which one of you brought me here?
I feel like we're all in the exact same situation here. Maybe you need to stop looking around us and have a look away out there.
Better looking at all of you than at looking at the thing hanging in the middle of the room right now.
Who else is in here? Just us?
I think so.
Us and whatever's left of him.
He's having a very strange effect on my psyche right now. Am I alone in this?
If you're saying that you want to eat him, then no. But I think I'll give that one a hard pass if I can.
Okay, glad it's not just me at least.
Anyone see a
It's
door?
gravy time.
Yeah, what is around us? I will like feel the wall behind me and start feeling my way around the room a little.
Would you like to do an investigation?
I would love to do that.
Okay. So, can you roll me your investigation and your intelligence and add your blood die? So I believe you have 2 blood die, which means you subtract 2 of your regular die and add your 2 blood die to that instead.
Okay. So, what 3 and so that's 4. Take 2 of those away, add 2 red ones. Okay. Everything is blank. All 4 of them.
Beautiful. What a way to start. Right, okay. So you got all blanks. You didn't get any red skulls. Right, you're fine. It's just a failed roll. You haven't like had a bestial failure or anything like that. You're fine. Basically, the rose-tinted glasses have suddenly got way more dark and rosy for you. Your emotions are getting the better of you. You're angry because you want to know who's put you here. So you're not quite looking. You're looking around the room, but you're not landing on stuff long enough to actually identify what is in the room with you other than the people who have spoken.
Seeing Alexander flounder a little bit, Dan will kind of come and like clap him on the shoulder. Well, if you're wanting to get out that way, you're probably going to have to focus on something for more than 2 seconds, son. And he'll kind of move a little bit further to kind of the edges of the room and try and have a look around as well. But you're going to have to tell me what all those things you just told him to roll mean, so I know what number rocks I roll.
Same again. So Luke, roll me your intelligence and your investigation. So you would be rolling 5 dice, but you need to take away 2 of your regular dice and put 2 of your blood dice into that pool because you're hunger 2 currently.
Okay.
So roll and tell me what you get.
So
It's gravy time.
Right. So I got on my nice dice that we don't hate, the non-hunger dice, we have an 8, a 6, and a 10.
Okay.
On the blood dice, I have a 5 and a 4.
Okay, so you get 3 successes.
Yay! What does that mean, GM?
So, Luke, your eyes begin to adjust to the darkness and poor lighting. Shapes of animal carcasses decorate your surroundings. The stench in the room is difficult to take from most of you. However, you quickly realize that you can hold your breath with no consequences. For a moment, you take a breath in, and something you took for granted and was so natural for you in your life is now something you can choose to do, or in this case, choose not to do. And in doing so, avoid the worst of the stench. The chains clank under the weight of hanging meat, and you can see the still air clinging to the flesh. The visible fog partially manages to obscure your vision under the cold, hospital-like lighting, causing you to navigate the room carefully to avoid bumping into the adorning books. As you walk, you realize there are streaks of dried blood on the floor, and a small pile of rotting meat, which you can't identify as animal or human. There are also several hospital-like blood bags. They smell of blood, but they are definitely empty. As you reach the walls, you realize they are made of steel, partially covered in patches of frost. However, your skin doesn't stick to the walls if you try to touch them. Your body's no longer warm. There is one door at the other end of the room, and if you press your ear to the door, you think you can hear movement on the other side.
I think we're in a fridge.
We're in a fridge.
Aye, we're in a fridge.
I mean, it would make sense with all this meat around.
I don't feel very cold, considering, but it does make sense.
Well, there's ice on the walls, so looks like we're probably in a meat closet.
Delightful. Can we get out?
I mean, there's a door, and sounds like there's people on the other side of it. So either they're nice, friendly people, which would be good, but then we have to explain why we were in here, and why there's this chap. Is it distasteful to say hanging about? No, never mind. Or it's whoever put us in here in the first place. And I'm not 100% sure I really want to meet them. It's up to you.
I'd rather get away from this thing right now.
I'll try the door then.
Okay. As you go towards the door loop and you reach out for the door handle, you realize that the door handle has deliberately been removed.
Don't suppose any of you have a door handle on you?
I'm afraid
No,
it's in my other
don't-
lab coat.
We're in a fridge with no handle on this side. Cool.
I'm going to start moving towards the hanging body.
I'm not moving towards the door.
Are you actively looking at the body, Sean?
Oh, yes. I'm
Can
going
you
to take
give
a...
me?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, can you give me another intelligence and investigation, please?
Okay.
Try to succeed this time.
I got one success. Well, I got one success, and everything else is blank.
That's fine. That's all I needed. One success will do. So as you look at the body, you can see that it is fairly fresh looking, even though it's got a bit of frost on it. It's been here a while, but it's not been here long enough to be considered rotting anyway. You could probably take a gander that it's been there for maybe, I'd say maybe about 12 hours since it's been put there. Probably about less than 24 since it was actually killed. You might also look at the body and think that it's been put here for a purpose. seems a bit odd that a random dead body would be in the middle of a freezer filled with live people. You would take a gander that if they're going to have one dead body, why would the rest of you not also be in a similar state? Maybe somebody is trying to test you.
Well, he's been here for some time. Don't know if we've been here as long as he has. This is a very strange setup. What do you all remember from before?
Going about my daily business, waking up here.
Nothing of particular note that I would think, looking back on it, that would have led me to be in our meat freezer with this unfortunate chap and us equally, but not quite as unfortunate folk.
So, okay, that's no clues as to who put us here. But it would make sense if similar people gathered us for some kind of reason and put this thing here for us, perhaps? Since a number of us now want to, well, eat it?
I'm going to make my way over to the door. They're like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Just bang on the door and just ask them to let us out.
Do you bang on the door?
Of course I bang on the door, but gently because I'm a lady. Don't want to break it.
Gently because I'm
I'm a lady. I don't bang on doors like brutes. Gosh. Okay, so
In 5 minutes, I would have come and broken down, or at least attempted.
So you gently bang on the door. You don't get any response. Maybe it's too quiet. Maybe you need to bang a little louder.
Somebody bang this door a little bit louder. It's too hard for me to do it. I might break a nail.
the look that you get from Dan is just like,
And from Leah.
Oh,
and he just kind of like repeatedly slaps on the door.
Do you want me to try and see if I can just get it open?
I mean, if you've got some way of opening doors without door handles, then lay on in.
I can try. Can I just brute strength the door, please?
you want to brute strength the door.
Yep.
A lady after my own heart.
All right. Can you roll
Really
me?
badly.
Can you roll me your strength and your brawl, please? And add in your blood
Okay,
dice.
1 second.
So bearing in mind you have 3 blood dice.
So strength and brawl is 8 minus 3, so 5 actual dice as well. Okay. Those are my 3 blood dice, so I'm going to roll them first. Used. 1 failure, but not bestial. So 2 9s and a 3. So 1 failure on blood. But 1 second. Oh god. 1, 2, 2 successes.
So in
Yeah.
total is that 2 successes or 4 successes, sorry?
2 successes, sorry.
2 successes in total.
Yes. Well, 4 if you include the blood dice, so yes.
Alright, so if we include your blood dice, which you do, so 4 successes in total.
Okay, right, I get you. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You go up to the freezer door and you try and get a hold of it. You try and like find a gripping point to maybe pull it off. You realise you can't find any way of actually gripping a hold of it to rip it off, so you start brute strength pushing it. It is heavier than a boulder and it is not budging. You can't actually get a good grip with your feet. As soon as you start pushing, your feet start sliding against the icy floor. And as you push, you kind of just go, and then kind of like slip on the floor and slightly down to your knees.
It's kind of like casually leans a little up. Aye, budging.
What's the point of having a fine specimen of a man in this room if you can't even open a door?
Excuse me.
I'm not sure which of us she just insulted, if I'm going to be quite frank.
While they're all messing around with the door, I'm going to see if I can carefully and without catching attention feed on this body.
Sippy, sippy.
I do have a metal straw with me. Does that help?
Looking like a Capri Sun.
The best kind of drink, a Capri Sun. I love it. Okay, Sean, can you roll me your stealth and dexterity for me, please? And add your blood die.
Okay. And blood die. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 regular and a critical success.
Okay. If you didn't get a second critical, it doesn't really matter, it just comes with a single success.
No, like, cool.
So, you absolutely can have a sneaky sip on this body. It is not pleasant tasting at all. It is cold blood. It slithers down your throat, and it's a heavy feeling in the back of your throat as it slides down and coats on the way down. It's
gravy
nice
time,
and it does not slate any of your hunger. You pull your fangs away, and you're just like, that did nothing. I'm still hungry.
Okay, I shall take note of that. I'll join the others by the door.
You want to give it a push too? Everybody's had a turn. It's your turn to hit the door. Go for it. Power on.
Maybe if we all try at the same time. I don't think
teamwork. Yeah, no, I don't think we're.
I think we're getting out of here until someone wants us out of here.
I was going to suggest looking for another door, and then I remembered that most people's fridges don't have 2 doors. So.
Can I see if there's a vent kind of exit or anything else involved?
Give me an intelligence investigation roll. I don't believe you have any investigation, so you're just rolling your intelligence plus your blood die.
So not taking away. I'm swapping 2 black for 2 red.
Yes.
I got 2 successes and 2 blanks.
Okay. Your eyes don't pick up anything different than what has already been picked up. You kind of linger on the meat, the slabs of meat, and you linger on the meat hooks in the room. And you kind of look at the shape of the meat hook, and you kind of look at the shape of where the door handle is, and you kind of ponder for a second.
Maybe one of you could touch that disgusting meat hook and use it as a handle to get out of here. Maybe you could get a grip on it then?
Have you not got any hands?
I'm not touching it.
It just kind of takes the edge of like her
it's
top,
gravy
kind
time.
of wipes it. That better for you?
Oh, no, of course not. Just do it yourself.
Oh. I don't get told what to do by the likes of you.
Okay, children. And he'll like go grab it. If we're wanting out of this fridge today, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if we're wanting out this fridge today, then someone's got to put the meat hook in the door handle. Right? And he does that while just like shaking his head the entire time. It just
like, no, I don't want to.
why? No, just more about why is that a sentence that I've just had to utter with my face?
Why have I had to do this? Okay, so you take the meat hook.
Yep.
And you jam
wang it in the door.
You wang it in the door. Can you give me?
Don't say strength.
Can you give me a dexterity and larceny roll?
And larceny?
Yeah, and I don't think you have larceny.
No, I don't. I'm a ruddy florist.
I'm a florist, don't you know?
So that's do I have to switch in dice for blood dice for this?
Yeah.
So if I've only got 2 dice, I just roll 2 blood dice. Right, okay. That doesn't seem like something I particularly want to do.
Probably not.
That was a 9 and a 10.
Okay. Let me just double check. Yep. You almost like a precision of a skill you did not know you had. You did not know you had the ability to lockpick a door. You put it in. And
with the meat hook.
With the meat hook. And you feel as the little pins inside of the locking mechanism go click, 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 click. And the door swings open.
I was imagining a much larger meat hook. It's more just takes it through the door.
Yep. Use the actual hook of it and you just...
Okay, I am not going to doubt people again. I thought that was stupid. That was incredible. Well done.
In fairness, I thought it was stupid too. But somehow it's not the weirdest thing that's happened today. So let's just hope the people on the other side of this don't want to put us on meat hooks. And he'll just kind of open the door and just bimble on out.
Okay. So Luke's going first. Is everyone else following?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alexander will let everyone go first and wander out after them.
What a gentleman.
In case he wants another sip.
Slurp, slurp.
Puts the body over his shoulder and takes it with him.
I'll have it. I'll have you know I brought this one with me. Yeah.
Okay. So, as you exit the freezer, unsurprisingly, you find yourself in a kitchen. As you all pile out of the freezer holding cell, or the frozen holding cell, not freezer holding cell, frozen holding cell, you find yourself in a kitchen that is bright and reasonably clean, and it features the type of equipment you'd expect in a high-end restaurant. Then you think that's where you are. The contrast with the meat locker you just exited may give you pause. As your eyes look for an exit, you find 2. There's a set of doors that no doubt lead to the main room of the restaurant, and a side door with a green emergency exit sign.
I'm going to have a quick glance around the room, make sure that there isn't just someone standing there like washing up a table like and then head towards the emergency exit. Which, if I know any kitchens that lead out to emergency exit, it's probably got a fire extinguisher prodding it open. Just go. Or are they up to code apart from the body in the fridge?
Oh yeah, they're like a 5-star Michelin restaurant.
It just happens to serve people.
Just happens. Well, it's not that they serve people. There is no indication that they serve people on their menu.
Just store them for other people.
I was going to say, I've had more indication that they do than that they don't so far. But sure, I'll suspend disbelief.
I'd like to go up to the restaurant doors and kind of try and listen through them. See if there's anyone in there.
Okay. Can you give me... Let me have a quick look. Let's see here. Can you give me a wits and insight, please. Or wits and awareness, sorry.
3 of those.
There's no one standing in front of you to insight.
3. And then that one, and that one. Okay. 4 successes and a blank.
Beautiful. So as you go up to the main doors that lead into the main part of the restaurant, it's got one of those like little chef windows, you know, where it's kind of like the weird grated cover of a window so that it makes it look fancy. You can just see out of it. The main part of the restaurant is very dimly lit, but your eyesight picks up everything perfectly. You can see a gentleman who is kind of just walking back and forth, looking a little bit sort of like, ugh, why am I here? This is really boring. And just continues pottering around. Like, he doesn't want to be there, but he's clearly being paid to stand guard. You can't hear or see anything else, it's just that one person.
I will turn around and say, there's someone out there pacing back and forth.
I'm gonna go the other way then.
How is that other exit looking? Is it open?
I don't know, is it?
I will go and look at the emergency exit.
I was already like barreling towards
That's
it,
what I
so
thought, yeah.
I'm either already through it or it's closed.
Oh, my gosh. Like, you just going up and just trying the door
Yeah.
handle. Yep. You try the door handle, it's locked.
It's an emergency, X.
Yep, it's locked. No.
How did you? How did?
No, it's good. It's locked. It's got a weird like because it's one of those ones where you just kind of like press it down, but it's almost got like something that's actually stopping it from going down, like a weird what's it called mechanical lock thing. I don't know how to explain it. I can see it in my mind.
Like a car lock.
Like a car lock, yeah. Basically, you try to push it down, and it only goes down so far, and then like
My magical meat hook lock picking skills. No.
There is no actual lock for you to unpick that one.
It's okay. I'm getting the vibe that we're going the other way. It's cool. There's some sort of. We're not getting out this way, guys.
No,
I
that's.
have 2 questions.
Mhm.
One, is there a clock in the room that I can see what time it is?
There is indeed a clock hanging up on the wall, and it says it is currently 8:30.
And secondly, what's the state of my dress like? Am I clean?
No, you have bits of frost on you that are starting to fall away, so it's getting a little bit damp. There's a little bit of like dried blood on it, just up at the top, around your sort of like collar and neck. You look like you've been dragged a little bit, so there's a little bit of like dirt here and there, a little bit of scuff marks. You don't look in particular pretty right now. A little bit disheveled.
I'm sure you all know what's coming next. I am not going through that door if there is someone there. No one can see me looking like this. Open that back door.
Or
I hate myself.
you check out for a wee minute there, because the door won't open and nobody cares what your dress looks like at the moment.
How dare you? You look worse than I do. You should have some kind of sense to clean yourself up.
Why? Who are you trying to impress?
As much as I enjoy looking good, I think that waking up in a freezer of meat with 3 strangers and a dead body supersedes the whole needing to be pristine thing.
What, and you want people to see you looking like this? Exiting this building like this?
How to just get out of the building?
I mean, I can go home and change if I can get out of here safely. Thinking
I'm
of
just
all
gonna
the
go for the
pretty
door.
dresses. Yes.
I'm just gonna go for the door.
Yes, I'm glad someone did.
I was gonna say, are you all being like quiet or are you all being relatively loud?
Oh no, I'm being loud. I'm not whispering. I'm dramatic.
No, I've been quiet. Because I saw the guy and I have a nerve.
Up until this point, it has all been under breath.
Under breath.
Not like whispered, but like, guys, come on, like let's.
But Grace, who just full on shouted about the state of
Yeah,
Vampire.
she's kind of had a moment like those kids in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Your Oompa Loompa gonna get you.
Oh man. Okay, so as the conversation was on, obviously Grace's loud voice echoes around the room. Sean, you notice that there is a flashlight being shone through the door into the room.
I will, like, as soon as I see the light turning towards the door, I'm like, I think he heard us.
Yeah,
Oh, cool. So he knows we're in,
over
and Dan's just gonna head out the door.
Cool. So as you stroll towards the door and just like push the door open, this poor guard with his flashlight is just like, where did you come from?
We were the late night rent-a-kill guys. We were checking that places like this you would never believe where the rats that they have through in the kitchens. Yeah, did they not tell you?
No, nobody told me anything.
Oh mate, I am so sorry. Look, we'll get out your hair. Do you need to do any checks on us before we go? Are we good?
Well, I listen, I don't know who you are, or like even if. What did you say you come in for? To check rats?
Yeah, we're like, you know how places like this, they never want the pest control to come in during the day, because then they're paying like 60 quid for a leaf and some stuff. So they get us in at night, we check the stuff, plain clothes, but you know, it's messy work. So we're just gonna head on out. Good news, if they've given you any vouchers, no rats. So,
oh well, that's great. Just a quick question. Why is the 4 of you? Surely there should only be like 1 or 2 of you. I mean, the grounds aren't exactly big. Big rats. Do you actually say that? Do you actually just come up and go big rats like that?
Just gonna go behind them and just whisper in their ear, just really.
Big rats. What, you go behind the security?
First.
No. Just whispering in there, just really seductive. Just big rats.
It doesn't have to be seductive, it's just really scared because he's got a flashlight in my face and I want to go home.
If Leah digs in her pockets, does she have any kind of like ID or anything on her?
She's got nothing on her.
God damn it.
It's for secure working, so you know usually if we're in on our own at night, don't know what your union's like, but we can't be alone working. So they send in a few of us, especially when working in the freezers and stuff, to make sure no one gets locked in if the handle comes off the inside.
Right, okay. Leah, you're looking at this guy, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me a wits and awareness for me, please?
I was going to say, like, I'm not going to be very good at the investigation thing. So.
You should be all right at wits and awareness, though.
Yeah, 3 blood. But we'll hope. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3 successes.
Well, you actually recognize this poor god. This poor god is Parker, and you recognize him as a guard / doorman who is part of a company that you have worked with previously in your time. He basically gets to travel up and down the country. He gets jobs here and there. You know, it's like one of those agencies where it's like, we need a security guard for the night. Here's the location, here's the page, you want the job, sort of thing. So you recognize him. You can remember that his name is Parker, and you have actually worked with him once before at a nightclub gig, long time ago, like when you were first starting out in your career.
Leah kind of like looks at him and just like, Parker, right?
Yeah, how did you...
It's Leah, we've worked together before. We've done
oh yeah,
clubs.
That club, yeah, the club, it was the one, Sheffield. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh wow, been a long time, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, yeah.
You working for a rat company now? What's that about?
No, I mean, they needed some security to come with them again. You know the kind of jobs.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't hear from me, but I heard that this restaurant gets a little bit of bad rep from like a local gang. I know they rub each other up, something rotten. So I can understand why they might have said, "Oh, can you just look after the poor buggers there?"
Yeah, we've got a couple of different jobs to go around to, so I just kind of have to go with them and just make sure everything's okay and everything's secure. You know what it is, you know, it's just making sure that no one tries to do something weird to them in the middle of the night.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, I guess I guess you should leave, but then I feel like I need to report this to the people that hired me, because they didn't tell me, and I feel like they should have told me. So
I'm sure everything is okay. It's all fine.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't really want to take this job. It's the first night for like, I don't know, they want me for a week or something, but the people that hired me sounded strange. It's not the usual deal. I mean, a restaurant. Yeah. You know, if they're going to have problems with local gangs, don't get us involved. I don't want to die. That's not what I'm here for, but the money was good. I am desperate for the money, and there's a good bonus as well.
It's gravy time.
They said they would pay me... God. Well, for the main week of the job, they said they would pay me $2,500, and then they said they paid me like $500 extra. You know, if I stuck it out for the entire week.
Seems like a good job. We'll get out your hair. I want to wash up. So hopefully we won't be back in. But
yeah.
See you around, Parker. And he just starts heading for the outside, being like, wait.
How are you gonna get out? The door's locked. Did you get a key? Because like I've locked the door. So.
Well, we came in before they closed up, so.
Yeah, that was like 3.5 hours ago, dude.
They take the time.
They
go into everything.
You would not believe where you can find rat droppings, my man. Can you open this door so I can vamoose?
Yeah, I guess I could. I guess I could let you out. Luke, can you give me
a bullshit check?
Bullshit check. Can you give me a persuasion and manipulation roll, please?
Yes. That is an 8 and a 10.
An 8 and a 10. Cool. Yep, he kind of just goes, yeah, all right, I'll let you out, that's fine. And he pulls, like, he's got, like, a weird keyring, you know, one of those big keyrings full of keys. And he pulls it off his, like, little belt. And he just kind of clicks through his goes, not this one, not this one, not this one. I think it's this one. Let's just go. I'll get you out, and then I can continue, and I can get my paycheck at the end of the week.
Don't spell it all at once.
Do you follow Parker to the door?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Let me out.
Let me out! Not let me in for a change. So Parker leads you to the front door, and he puts the key into the lock. He turns the key, and he opens the door. And as he opens the door, there is a fist that comes out of nowhere and just punches this poor guy straight to the floor and knocks him out cold.
Punch straight back.
Okay, can you roll me?
Gonna be stepping the hell out of the way of that.
That's Grace. Let's not click on Grace's sheet. Can you roll me your strength and your roll, please?
Oh, okay, so that's 8. So with 3 blood die. I'm getting used to this, honest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So many dice. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 success.
4 successes.
Mhm.
Let me just roll my one to dodge. As she drops it on the floor. It's fine. We can cover it. It was a 4, so that doesn't count. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3. Yep. So you swing without even looking, but your instincts are on point, and you just smash straight into this person's face. They don't stumble, they don't fall back like poor Parker did. They just kind of like go and like just grab the shoe. Ow! I bloody hurt. What the fuck are you punching for?
What were you punching for?
Because he's a fucking Cain, that's why.
He's a what?
And then this person looks at you, and you notice that he is very, very pale. And he has got slick black hair, and he's wearing a black leather biker jacket with a red vest top on underneath, like one of those like bodybuilder kind of like vest top. And he's got black combats on and a black pair of biker boots. And he looks at you real close, and he's like, "Oh, you don't." Man, when they said that this was like a rescue mission, didn't think it would be like fresh meat. Wow. Well, this should be fun.
I take offense to that. What's going on?
You and the rest of you are all. How do I put this? And he just kind of like raises his upper lip, and you can just see a very nice, neat band. And he just taps it, and he goes, "You're all vampires. Bet you didn't know that, did you?"
I mean, it makes sense, I suppose, seeing as we all wanted to eat that poor bastard back in the fridge.
I mean, I did. I did. But...
You did?
You did?
Wait. Were they alive or were they dead?
Dead. Freshly dead. Within the last 12 hours or so.
Yeah, that's. Let me guess. You still feel hungry?
Yeah, it did nothing. I just. I wanted it, and it was disgusting.
Yeah, cold dead blood doesn't fill you up. It's just wrong on so many levels.
Well, that's information that's. Thank you, I think.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Who are you?
My name is Marcus, and I'm here to save you from the evil grasps of the Chucklefox who kidnapped you.
I mean, we saved ourselves, but cool.
Well, I mean, you did. Good on you. You've done a lot better than a lot of fledglings tend to do in their very first night. But not sure how far you would get outside, because I'm pretty sure within the next sort of 15 minutes, second Inquisition are going to come and claim you again. And we don't want to be here when that happens. So we need to get moving to a more secure location. And I can tell you everything you want to know.
I'd rather get back to the hospital if I'm entirely honest.
Oh, buddy, no, you can't go back to the hospital. You can't go back to your previous lives. That ain't happening.
But that's going to be really problematic.
Yeah.
There are people very much relying on me right now.
Well,
how long is it going to take, this explanation?
How long is the explanation going to take? Well, that depends on how many questions you ask.
Do we want to do this if the Second Inquisition, because while they sound like perfectly friendly folk, and I'm sure every Inquisition that we've ever had in the past has gone swimmingly for the people being inquisited. Do we want to do this on the go if they're coming here in a quarter of an hour?
Yeah, walking and talking sounds good to me.
Yeah. Well,
How about you, Princess?
I have a car. Yeah, we'll fit. There's 5 of us. Might be a bit of a tight squeeze. Sorry for whoever sits in the back, but not my problem.
Well, this is all completely ridiculous. So maybe you can stop making up stories and just give us a lift home.
Oh, sweetheart. No, that's not gonna happen. You can't go home.
Well, I can't stay dressed like this.
Oh, jeez, we'll get you something sorted. I have a friend. She's great. She's got impeccable fashion taste. You'll be fine. Come on, get in the car.
I'm getting in the front.
What do you want?
Are you not going to open the door for me?
No.
Well,
you have hands.
While she's having her wee moment to herself in front of what I can only assume is like a Skoda, judging by Marcus. Marcus gives me big Skoda energy, okay?
Oh no, come on, he's got like a nice
Corsa?
No, he's got like what's the car that they've got in
Ford
Supernatural?
Panda.
It's not a Ford Panda.
What's the car they've got in what?
In Supernatural, is it a Mustang or something?
Oh yeah, Mustang.
Impala.
It is
Yeah.
it is a Chevrolet Impala.
Chevrolet Impala. There you go. That's the car he's got.
That
Oh.
I've named all of the cars that I know the names of, by the way. That's Situ. Before he leaves, he's gonna like prop this poor bastard up against the wall, so he's not just like, and then kind of pull the door over because like that's a rough time, buddy. Like he didn't sign up for getting punched out by a vampire. It's not what he was here for.
It's not the night I was in for.
Leah will probably help you a little bit and just be like, I should probably sort my somewhat not really friend out. But more so kind of securing the build, like also it looks like it's secure, kind of more so. Rather than helping, like she'll let him help him kind of thing and be like, okay, cool, and then she'll more secure the building and make it look secure.
And then he's gonna, I don't know if Grace is still throwing a strop.
Is Grace still stropping about not having the door open?
Go on.
No, I've left.
You've left?
I'm getting in the car.
Oh, you're in the car.
I can't get in the car inside the building.
You started walking down the street.
You just gone, bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye my own way, lass. No, right, okay, yeah. The door that Parker was opening was the main front door that led out onto the main street, which is where the car is. So Grace was obviously getting into the car, and the others are following after this hot
like before, Alexander's going to hang back a little bit. Just like, I'm going to look like I'm checking his pulse and stuff, because I think I've mentioned a few times that I've got some, like I've talked about the body and stuff. I've put down that I've got some medical knowledge, but I'll check his pulse, do like that. What I'm really doing is looking for his ID and phone.
Yep.
Neither?
No ID, no phone.
Interesting.
Yep.
Good to know. Okay, in that case, I won't be tracking down him later, but yes, I will. That's good to know. Okay, I'll get into the car, and I will say to Leia, what company did he say hired him?
I want to know what order we're sitting in the car. Sorry to just completely derail this. I want to know how these three leggy gets in the back of the car.
I think Leah's kind of like, well, if you kind of got in first and Alexander's hung back, then I think Leah's going in the middle.
He's in the middle.
Yeah, like, legs akimbo, like either side of the
Yes.
Grace has got the seat pushed right back. Yep.
Sorry, what did you ask again?
What company did you say hired him?
He didn't. I was trying to get it out of him, but I know the guy. I've worked with him before.
It was just that he was carrying no ID and no form of. He had no walkie-talkie, no mobile phone.
He has to have a phone. Like, that's how you check in. It's lone worker policy, as Dan said.
I assumed so, and I also assumed that, you know, when you were working security, you had to have some form of ID to prove who you were, but he was carrying neither. I thought I'd find out which company he was working for so I could, you know, maybe join some dots later.
Where's my ID gone? That's weird. Yeah, that's really strange, because you always have ID on you. That's what's really bizarre.
Yeah, the only thing he seemed to have on him was a flashlight. So, very strange. And Marcus called him something. I don't know. This has been an interesting night.
I am stood right here, just so you're aware.
Sorry. Yes, of course you are. Yeah. I can see you with my eyes.
Yeah, good job. Do you wanna like get in the car, because like 10 minutes.
We're already in the car. That's why we decided what order we were getting in.
Okay.
It's funny.
My bad. Okay. Right. If you are all nice and settled in the car, Marcus gets into the seat and he takes off down the road, a little bit speedy, probably a bit too speedy. It's the kind of level where you would probably get a ticket if it wasn't for the fact that there are no street cameras at the moment, which is very odd. And he drives down the road and he takes a couple of lefts, and then he takes a couple of rights. And then in about 15 minutes, he pulls up underneath a bridge. And he just kind of like parks the car, turns the engine off, and then he kind of just does that thing where you kind of just lean back and you just go, well then, Kitty Winks. This looks like it's your very first night. So, welcome. Welcome to your new and, one might say improved life. It depends on how you look at it.
I'm guessing this isn't the kind of thing where we get a gift card and a welcome, a party maybe?
I mean, you could get a party. That is possible. Probably not right now. Maybe down the line you might get a party. As for a gift card, not really. Gonna be honest, you're not gonna have much use for gift cards. You know, you kind of really need to use them in stores, and you ain't gonna be able to do that anymore, unless it's winter and you go late night shopping.
Well, this is absolutely ridiculous. Where are you taking us anyway? Can't just stop under a bridge.
Well, I'm stopping under a bridge so I can answer your questions, which you clearly have a lot of, because you seem like the kind of bitch that would do it. So.
Oh, I'm sorry, we can't all look like badass bikers in a fancy car.
Oh, thanks for calling me badass. That's not a compliment.
Do we need to do this in this very enclosed space? Because I don't know about up at the front of the car, but we're all getting really closely acquainted back here. Possibly too closely acquainted.
Yeah, you're all very. Yeah, let's get out of the car. We'll be fine.
Unfolds.
So
they gangle out from the back.
You all exit the car, and Marcus kind of like goes to the bonnet of the car, and he kind of just goes, hoists himself up and kind of brushes himself down for a second, then leans back on his hands and he looks at you. So, what have you already figured out? You're very rude. Thank you.
I mean,
You said we're vampires, so clearly vampires are a thing.
Yeah, we don't call ourselves vampires. That's what the kind call us. The kind are humans, so you know. We call ourselves kindred.
Right.
Vampires is, like I say, it's a very human thing. It's, you know, Dracula and all that. Twilight.
okay. So, kindred.
Yeah.
And that's why we wanted
It's
to eat
gravy
the body back there.
time.
Yep, you now have a taste for blood. You will not be able to eat normal food. If you try, you will just throw it back up, and it will definitely not slate your hunger.
That's
So
not very good.
You're gonna have to get used to drinking from various sources, I guess.
Just get used to it.
Yeah, because you need to constantly drink. Well, not constantly, mainly just when the pans are real high. If you don't, some really bad stuff can happen. You can kind of lose your senses. It's kind of like taking drugs and then blacking out kind of bad. You know, a little bit of murder can happen here and there, destruction of property. There's a lot of stuff that can happen. It ain't good. You don't want that to happen. Under any circumstances, do not let that happen.
Question.
Yes.
So, us not vampires, definitely nothing to do with that. Kindred. Say, like, what of the clearly completely mythical, as we all know now. Any of that stuff kind of carry forward?
Are you talking about, you know, garlic, holy water, and steaks?
I was mostly meaning sunlight.
Oh
but-
yeah, the big daddy. Yeah, sunlight. Mm-mm. That is the one true thing. That shit hurts. You will die.
I'm going to need to take on another member of staff.
Just out of general curiosity, because you don't come across as local folk, and given that it's the Second Inquisition playing around here, I'm gonna guess that none of you are local in any way, shape, or form to Cheshire, right?
We were opening up a new shop down the way, but not originally, no.
Uh,
No,
Yeah.
my offices are in London.
Ooh, that's yeah, you definitely, you specifically definitely can't go back to London. And any of the rest of you from London?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you also definitely cannot go back to London. London is definitely not a safe place for our kind. You go there, you'll be killed pretty fucking quick.
Okay, who's killing us? Why?
Get why?
Because we are creatures of the night, thus we are inherently evil. We're not, but that's what the killing machines think, and the killing machines are the Second Inquisition.
I mean, humans in general are horrible anyway. But what does murder have to do with any of this? We've not done anything wrong.
Yeah, they don't say it like that. You know, it's the whole, you're a creature of darkness and evil and you want to kill everything. Grr, we must put an end to you.
So is this all your fault? Did you do this to us?
Oh yes, I absolutely did this to you. Well, of course I didn't do.
Well, maybe you should take us to whoever it is that did do this.
Oh, I would love to speak to you. Problem is, I don't know who did this to you. I don't know who sired you. I don't know when you got embraced, and I don't know where you got embraced. I don't think you got any of those things in this city.
Well, who sent you then?
I have a friend who has been keeping tabs on the Second Inquisition for the last year, and she sent me to come and get you.
Okay.
We had heard that there were rumors of the Second Inquisition having a safe house somewhere in the city centre. We didn't realize it was here, like right in the city centre. You know, a rumor's a rumor. And the Second Inquisition, they play around a lot, they move a lot. They're constantly on the hunt for anything that sort of reeks of the supernatural.
So are they human?
Yes. The Second Inquisition are mostly all human. There have been some speculations that they have some mages involved, but it's very rare that you actually hear tales of mages in this day and age. It's one of those things that's kind of died down. You know.
So, mages, did you say?
Yeah, mages. You know, like witches and stuff.
So vampires exist and mages exist.
Oh yeah, if you think of it as being supernatural, it's likely to exist. Werewolves, they exist. Changelings, they exist.
Unicorns?
No, unicorns don't exist.
I'm just going to go very stroppy, because I got excited that one day I might got a unicorn.
One day I will own my own unicorn.
Have some fae.
So this has all been super nice, but can we go now, or is there...
Where are you planning on going?
Probably trying to head back up north, not gonna lie. Not a heck of a lot of sun up there at the best times anyway, so...
That is true, but you're gonna have some problems. You are, what I'm guessing, brand new kindred. You don't know anyone who can help you up there.
Well, roughly what you've told me. No sunlight, you need to have blood. Don't piss anyone off. Keep a low profile and you'll be okay. Seems... Get the night train back up, no light. Scooch on out, gets into Edinburgh Waverley at about 5. Should be good.
I mean, you're right, that is a good plan, but if you don't have a support network to begin with and teach you how to live in these new and exciting nights, you're going to find yourself struggling real quick. Either that or you're going to break one of the masquerade rooms. And
the what?
The masquerade, yeah. I haven't explained that one either.
It's called the what?
It's called the masquerade. It is what we team as...
You can say that with a straight face.
Yes, I can, because it is a serious part of our culture.
And it's called the masquerade.
It's called the masquerade. You'll get used to it. But we don't allow mortals to know our existence. You can imagine what happens if we did. I mean, it's bad enough that the Second Inquisition is already rearing their ugly head. So we have to cover it up, cover up our existence, and we call it the masquerade. If people talk about us, the Inquisition shows up, as they already have done. And unfortunately, this city has been a hotspot for activities in the past, which is probably why they're still lurking around. Our survival depends on keeping the secret of our existence. And now that you are all kindred, it is expected of you to honor that and keep it a secret. If you don't keep it a secret, we will know. And they will be very unhappy about it. You understand?
So, if the only thing we can feed on is blood, but then we have to keep it secret from the humans, how do we get blood?
An excellent question. You probably...
It's gravy time.
Butchers.
Excuse me. Marcus looks at you and goes, butchers is a great one. You have to have a certain taste bud for animal blood, but it will do the job. There are ways of acquiring blood bags. Again, it's not a viable source of blood. It can be a bit iffy. Your stomach might not quite agree with it, though you're all pretty fresh, so you might get away with it for at least maybe a couple of decades. The main way to get a hold of blood is to use your newfound gifts that you might have started noticing you have. Your abilities that you brought with you in your life, skills you picked up as humans.
Look, mate, I've just had the weirdest night of my life so far. I've woke up in a freezer with these folks. I've picked a lock with a meat hook, which I'm pretty sure I couldn't do in a past life. But I'm also pretty sure that that's not necessarily strictly a vampire thing. And now I'm under a bridge, which, no offense to you, Marcus, but it looks like this is where you bring people to kill them.
Yes, or dump bodies. This is not comfortable. So if we can't go back to where we were wanting to go back, where are you thinking to take us exactly?
Well, I can take you to what is deemed a kindred-safe nightclub that's in the area. It has a very low-key presence to it, so it doesn't really draw too much attention. That might keep you safe for a bit. And then I need to get in contact with my friend and see if she might be able to take you in for a bit. At least until you get on your feet and you start controlling your new lives. In regards to the whole how are you supposed to get your blood thing and all that sort of jazz. We have these, how should I put it? Gifts, powers, abilities. Think of like really old school vampires where they could mesmerize you and, persuade you to do such things. Those are some things that you could possibly do. It depends on what kind of kindred you are.
Kinds? This is just so confusing. I'm so hungry.
Yeah, we really need to get you sorted. Because I don't know how long ago it was you were actually embraced. So your hunger might actually be more than what you could possibly deal with as fledglings. If I take you to the club, there should be somebody that you can drink from.
Is there an option to not chomp another human being?
Well, like I said previously, you could if you wanted to animal blood, but
is that something we'll be able to get at your?
I mean, not normally, but I guess we could put in a request. I don't know how quickly the request will be fulfilled. It's late. It might not be until tomorrow. Whether or not you think you can hold out that long.
I mean, surely late at night's kind of more like midday now. If we're all doing this thing.
Yeah, for you guys, it's technically midday, but for the person who's probably going to deliver you animal blood, it is a night.
Fair enough.
So that's what I mean by it might be a bit difficult acquiring you a certain taste of blood, that isn't normally held at the club.
I'm sorry for punching you.
Oh, that's fine.
Reflex.
No, it's cool. It was a great right hook. I would say I'll feel it when it starts to bruise, but probably not. So. You're fine. Don't worry too much about it.
Do we want to pack back into the sardine tin and?
We can do. Are there any other questions you want to ask now whilst we're out breathing in this wonderful fresh air, which is a joke because we don't breathe.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, do you have a phone?
No, I don't. Again, one of those whole we need to stay hidden sort of thing. Technology's kind of off the books for most people. It's a sensible thing to do. Phones can be hacked.
Even if you're making a perfectly normal phone call.
Yep. Still can drop flags.
Because I'm going to have some really narked off staff if they don't get paid.
I see. Well, I could see about getting you a phone. Again, might not be right this moment. Might have to
It
wait.
doesn't need to be on Snapchat or whatever. Look, I just need to phone in so that they know that I'm not going to be in. To cover it, maybe bring on another member of staff.
No, that's fine. I get you. I get you, dude. I'll see about getting you a burner phone, and then you can make your call, do what you need to do, and then you can yeet it in the bin. That sound good?
Aye, we can work with that.
Everything apart from yeet, yes.
Yeah.
It means throw.
I know what it means, it's just gauche.
Oh, sorry.
But yes, no, that's fine. I need to make sure that certain people are safe, and then I don't need a phone much longer. Let's go. I have a million questions. We'd be here all night.
Okay. Well, we can maybe answer those when we get to the next destination. All right. Cool. And so Marcus flags off the boot of the car, the bonnet of the car even. And he gets into the driver's seat, turns on the engine, gets you all to pile in. And the moment you all pile in, he takes off sort of underneath the bridge and rejoins the road and heads off towards the city centre. And that is where we're going to take a break, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for sticking around. Hopefully the audio quality has been okay. Currently, I am sharing a microphone between me and Beth. So if we're a little bit quiet at times, I apologise, but hopefully you have been able to hear all of the wonderful details that I have so far dumped upon these poor innocent souls. So, Edie, if you could drop us into a break, we'll take a quick 10-minute break and then we will be back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back from the break. If you are just joining us, welcome to our very first Vampire the Masquerade game. This is called New Beginnings, or Strange Beginnings, sorry. If you have been with us since the start, thank you very much. We really appreciate your support. If you haven't already, consider hitting the follow button so that you can be notified of further streams. There is pretty much a tabletop game going on this channel every single day at the moment, so there is always content.
It's gravy
that you can check
time.
out. Some great games, great players, and also great DM. And if you have a Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch subscription. If you haven't used it, please consider using it on our channel. That would be awesome, because more support means we can put more stuff out and give you some really great content. I missed doing the disclaimer before this stream, which is a really big thing with Vampire the Masquerade. So just so that you are all aware that the game you are watching is made for a mature audience and it belongs to White Wolf Publishing. The themes and events that take place during this time are not the views of myself, the players, or anyone part of Heavyweight Gaming. So viewer discretion is highly advised. Now that we have gotten that out of the way, players, are you ready to delve back into the world of darkness?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Excellent. And we shall return. So, you have gotten back into the car with Marcus, and he is speeding off from the underside of a bridge, and he is speeding back towards the city centre to drop you off at a club that apparently belongs to somebody you know as a friend, an ally. As the car makes its way along the main road, in the rear view mirror, you can see that there is a white van following behind you. It's there, but it's being stopped by traffic a little bit. There's a small amount of traffic. It's not super late. We're getting to that point where you've got some late night workers coming home, or you've got some people in taxis who are going out for a cheeky night out. So it is there, but it's not quite behind you. You can see it. Marcus's driving skills are way superior than whoever is driving this quite bad. Marcus kind of like shifts his gaze up to the mirror, and he too spots this van. Good. Well, we need to lose them, because I'm pretty sure that is either the Second Inquisition or somebody else who's responsible for taking you guys. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be caught. I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to be caught either. So, and he's like, as he's driving along, he's like looking at all the sort of side streets and stuff, and you can clearly, it's like that picture of the woman who's got like loads of equations like running across her face. That's the kind of face he's pulling, just like a. So he's driving along. It's like, okay, I think I've got a plan. It's going to lose them, and hopefully be able to divert them away from you long enough. Like if I manage to drop you off somewhere, they're more likely to follow me if we do it quick enough that, you know, there doesn't seem to be a long enough stop. So yeah, I'm gonna drive, and I think they'll follow me rather than follow you guys first.
Where are we going? Because I'm presuming you're not just going to drop us on the pavement and drive on, and they're going to be like, oh, that's fine, 4 people have just got out that car. I'll still follow the car, though.
Well, I'm kind of hoping that since I'm a really good driver, I can sort of divert my way around quick enough that you can all get out of the car and go on ahead. That van's pretty big, and some of the streets that I need to go down to get to the club anyway are really narrow, so we should be all right.
Okay. It doesn't sound like we have much of a choice, to be honest.
You're right, you don't have much of a choice. It's either you get out where I can drop you off safely, or you're going to go back with whoever they are. And trust me, you don't want that.
No, not if these are the people that shoved us in a freezer. Okay, this is normal. This is our new normal, yes.
Oh.
Why did they throw us in a freezer and not just kill us if that's, you know, their whole shtick?
I'm going to be honest here. I don't know. The Inquisition do some weird things. They like testing on people. They like testing kindred. Find out what makes you tick, sort of thing. And he continues, Marcus is continuously driving, getting progressively faster, and you notice he starts taking some really sharp turns down little streets and stuff like that in order to try and lose the van that's following behind you. His driving skills are much better than the van. The van is getting stuck behind a lot more taxis. You can kind of faintly hear in the background some really angry, like, honking as his van is like stuck behind traffic. Mark is kind of just like driving along, just continue driving. As he's driving along, he kind of like takes one hand off the steering wheel and he clips the glove compartment next to Grace's legs, and he just like, as he's driving, he's just like, love, just go into that compartment and pull the gun out for me.
I pull the gun out, but I like hold it really jauntily, like.
Can any of you use a gun?
Yeah, do you need some cover?
Sorry, what was that?
I'm just going to share a look with Alexander, like.
Just like,
What the fuck is happening?
I've used one on gun range, but
close enough. And as he's driving, he just kind of side glances to Grace and just chuck that to your friend.
Don't chuck it. Don't chuck it.
The safety's on. The safety's on.
It's too late. I've already just kind of like gone behind me.
Safety's on. You're fine.
I mean, I'm in the middle seat, so I guess I'd catch it.
The gun that is struck to you, Mel, is just a standard pistol. It's nothing fancy, basic firearm. It'll do it'll do +2 damage. So if you want a mark on your character sheet down the bottom where you've got weapons, just
Weapons. Oh, I've got weapons. It's exciting.
there's a weapons tab. You may have a gun.
Yeah.
Giving guns out on the first session. Possibly.
Don't know about the rest of you, but I don't think Dan's ever come into contact with a gun in person before, because Edinburgh's not really known for its
Is it not?
gun culture. So he's just kind of like,
Just like,
just like repeatedly staring at the gun and then staring at Alexander, and
I mean,
because he seems to be the only other person that's not just like, yeah, it's a gun.
Marcus's eyes like flick up to the view mirror and just like locks eyes with you, and he's just like, "You've never used a gun, have you?"
Do I look like, have you? No, I've never used a. What would I be using a gun for?
Well, you're probably going to see a lot of them in your new life, so get used to it.
Oh, our new lives are sounding less and less fun, I've got to be honest.
Oh no, trust me, they can be super fun.
I
Okay.
think we might have a different understanding of that word to each other.
You'll learn in time, trust me.
I'm assuming that all the items that would have been in pockets before are gone.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You have nothing on you, no ID, no phone, no wallet, nothing. Sorry, Mel, did I tell you what to put for the damage? I did, didn't I?
That's 2 damage,
Okay,
yeah.
Just checking, because we got caught up in more random time. So, again, Marcus is still driving. He seems to slow down at just a tad, and then kind of goes, no, keep going. He speeds back up again. If you had sires, which you will do, by the way, people who embrace you and turn you into what you are, technically, they would be your lifelines right now, and they'd be teaching you how to do everything, but it's very clear that they aren't around, so you're going to have to make do with what little support network we've got going on around here at the moment, I'm afraid. I can drop you off at the club, put you with my friend. She's great. She'll make sure that you get some food. She'll make sure that you've got somewhere to sleep for the night, or the morning technically, and that you're out of the sunlight so that you don't get turned into the crispiest of crispy pancakes. And then probably tomorrow evening, I'll drop by and we'll go over some more things. I'll see if I can get in contact with my main benefactor and see if she can get
What's
involved.
your friend called if you're going to drop us at the club and obviously need to drive off?
Oh, sorry. Her name's Elizabeth. She's great. She's short. She wears a suit. She can get real angry at times, but she's good.
Okay, yes. Okay. And then we should all probably do introductions at some point too, as apparently we're going to be in this together for a while.
Yeah, this is your support network. So you're right. You're probably going to want to know a little bit about each other.
Oh. I'm assuming after the shooting starts.
Like you assume there's shooting. Just because a gun has been handed to you doesn't mean there's going to be a shooting. It's just a safety measure.
Just because you know how to use it doesn't mean you've ever used it off the gun range.
Yep, that's very true.
It's reassuring. No. How far away from this nightclub are we?
Literally, as you say that, he stops the car. And then he leans back and he just goes, "You're here, out you go. Just go inside, go to the bar, ask for Elizabeth. She'll be there." She's kind of aware that there's a situation going on. So.
Okay. And he's out in towards the door.
Quickly scrambles out.
I'm just going to look over and just be like, quite clearly, we've had all of our money taken away from us. Have you got anything to help? How are we supposed to buy drinks?
Oh, sweetheart, you won't be drinking anything that you need to pay for anymore. Out you get.
Well, I get out.
And as soon as you're all out of the car, he speeds off again.
We should probably get off the sidewalk as quick as we can.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there like a queue to get in the club?
There is no queue to get into the club currently.
Brilliant. Straight up to the door then.
Still early doors.
Once more into the breach.
Once more into the breach.
At least we're going in the front door this time instead of waking up inside a freezer.
We left out the front door last time, in fairness.
That's true.
Not for lack of trying, otherwise.
That's motor. Come on, guys.
Oh, I'm motoring.
Motoring. Definitely walking and talking.
Okay, so as you walk towards the club doors, you'll note that the doors they're open wide. The actual doorway itself seems relatively narrow, but it's tall. The doors are made of a heavy iron and they're like intricately, not carved, but designed in such a way that it looks like a very ornate gate. There's a gate similar, it's somewhere in, I want to say Edinburgh, in a very nice garden, and I can't remember what it's called, and I'll remember later. But it's a beautiful, rusty looking door. And above the door, it says the club is called the Symposium. That's fine. Thank you. And the club is called the Symposium. As you walk in through the door and head down a very long set of stairs, like kind of go down a bit, then they turn to the left, there's like a little landing, it goes down again, and then it turns again and down another set of stairs. And then you walk into the next set of doors. As you enter the main room, it's very dark looking. The room's filled with reds and blacks and velvets and satin, and you know, it looks like almost like a very fine gentleman's club. There is a very long bar on the left-hand side of the wall. There is a small dance floor and stage with a little DJ booth in the top right-hand corner. There are loads of tables with just a couple of chairs around them. There's lots of booths that are like in the walls, and in front of them are like sheer curtains, almost like red sheer curtains that can be pulled shut to give the illusion of privacy, but you can see if somebody was sat behind them, you'd be able to see them quite well. There is some doors to the bottom right-hand corner, which clearly look like toilets. And then in the top left-hand corner of the bar, behind the bar, there is a door that says staff only. You'll note that the lighting in here is very dim. It gives off a very seductive mood. There are no lit candles, which you kind of would expect from somewhere that this dark and gives off this sort of vibe. There's a couple of people here and there, just having casual drinks. The music's not in particularly loud, it's not bassy or anything like that, it's just there in the background. Because it's still early on, the real party, shall we say, it hasn't started yet. Nobody's making use of the booths in the far corner. Everyone's just kind of sat at a couple of tables and lightly talking. There is a single barmaid on the bar currently. She's kind of pottering around, cleaning some glasses, reorganizing the shelf a little bit. That is what you have in front of you. What do you do?
Head on up to the bar. He's just going to bimble on over.
Yep.
Like
Is anyone
a dad at a nightclub.
Like a dad at a nightclub.
Just like, say go to the bar. We're going to go to the
Leah's
bar.
going to see if there's any security around. Because normally you'd have security on the door.
There was one security guard, but he didn't like bat an eyelid at you guys.
Okay. In that case, she will follow to the bar.
It's like I say, it's still pretty early, so there's not a need for a huge amount of security guards at the moment.
He will try and flag down the member of the bar staff.
Okay. As you flag down the girl that's on the bar, she kind of looks up, notices you, kind of, and she puts the glass down that she was cleaning. She tucks her towel back into like the side of her pants. 1 second. Hi. What can I get you?
Marcus told us to ask for Elizabeth.
Oh, okay, cool. Bear with me 1 minute. I'm just gonna go and use the intercom. I can't leave the bar, so it might take a couple of tries. Sometimes she's a little bit busy, so just hang fire and
cool.
yeah, just I don't know. Do you want me to pour you guys a drink or anything? Or?
I'm okay right now. Do you guys want?
No, not right now. But I am going to be, Jade, looking around for my chosen people. You know who I'm talking about. See if there's any in the club.
Can you give me
nice.
a wits and awareness, please? Yeah, it's very early still. We'll see how you
go. 2 successes, a critical. Oh, only a critical. Oh, a skull on one of my blood dice.
I think you're all right because you got successes on your other dice.
Cool.
Didn't you?
Yeah, I got a success and a critical success.
Okay, so it's just 2 successes.
Cool.
Don't have to worry about the skull unless you roll blanks on your other dice. Then you gotta worry. So you
okay.
Feel safe. You have 2 successes. Okay, so you turn your gaze onto the room and you have a quick look over the people that are here. There's not a huge amount of people here because it is so early. You can make out a lovely tall brunette who is stood talking to another girl. She happens to be wearing a red PVC dress that kind of just stops above her knees. She's holding a drink in her hand. She looks quite tipsy considering how early in the night it is. She's clearly started her night a lot earlier than her friend has. Her friend's kind of like standing there going, taking a little sip, kind of like almost awkward, like, why are you like this every time? That one friend.
All of us. I was going to say we all have that one friend.
Yeah, we all have that one friend. But yeah, she looks like she could be the kind of person from your scene, but you wouldn't really know 100% until you actually spoke to her and maybe got a bit more insight.
Cool. Just taking note for later. Thank you.
You can.
Can I also investigate the room? Is there like a phone anywhere?
Roll me your investigation and intelligence grades.
2 successes to 2 blanks.
2 successes. You cast your eyes around. Nothing really particularly stands out as looking like a phone in the main sort of area. You do kind of clock the intercom that's on the wall that the barmaid is heading towards, but there's no phone down in the main room.
Dan's just standing there doing his best impersonation of a dad at a school disco. Just like he's probably had a wee glance around, noticed there's folk in PVC dresses, and realised this isn't his scene. This isn't even adjacent to his scene. He's just like, righty ho.
Oh boy. So as you're like standing there waiting for the barmaid to do her thing, you are close enough that you can hear her speak on the intercom as she goes over, and she just kind of flips the button and she's just like, Elizabeth, you there? And then waits for a second. Elizabeth, hello, are you there? Please don't tell me you're out having a smoke. Elizabeth, it's really important that you answer this, please. And then she kind of waits there for a second, and then through the intercom it comes a very staggered reply of, what is it, Julia? There's a guy here who says Marcus sent him, and he's asking for you. And then back through the intercom again comes a, yes, Marcus did say that he was going to do something. Very well, just send the person up. Is there more than one, or is it just him? And she kind of like lingers on the button. She looks back at you. Is it just you, or is there
table for 4?
Table for 4, he says.
There's no hen. There's 4 of us hen. It's no.
He says there's 4 of them. Yes, I got that, Julie. Thank you. And then she just kind of stands back and goes, and then she lifts up the little hatch on the bar and goes, yep, just go through the door, up the stairs, and it's the and it's the cat, and it's the first door on the left-hand side. She's expecting you, apparently. So.
That's good to know. Right, we got the full mad squad together then. Come on. And scoots on. Bimbles on up.
Bimbles. Just,
Alexander does the after you to the 2 ladies.
So
follows them from behind.
you all going up, yeah?
Yep.
Cool. So as you follow the instructions of what Julia said, you go up the stairs and you take the first one on the left. You don't even need to knock or anything. The door is just wide open, so you can just walk straight through. As you're walking through the door,
You are attacked by a suit of armor.
you are attacked by a suit of armor. Roll initiative.
Wrong game.
Wrong game.
How many D10s is that?
Oh,
It's
boy.
going again, it's going again.
Will you? Apologies, folks. Cats. As you walk through the door into the office, directly in front of you is 4 very nice, plush, high-backed leather chairs. And in front of that is a very nice ornate oak desk. And again, behind that is another high-back chair. Sitting in the chair is a lady who has got sort of brownish reddish hair that is tied up and very similar to how I've got it. It's got it in a clip, a little bit hanging on the back. She's wearing a very nice Armani white crisp suit that you can see. She's got like a very thin, pencil-thin red tie. And she's just sat in front of a computer. She's typing away. She hasn't quite looked up and acknowledged you yet, but you can see like whatever she's working on is kind of reflected in the lens of her glasses. Can't quite see what it is, but she's clearly working on like an email, and she's typing away real fast. And she just, without even looking up, she's just like, "Ah, yes, Marcus's lot. Come in, take a seat."
Thank you for having us.
Oh, it's always nice to help new kindred. You know, we've all knew kindred once before, so take the help when it's offered. Can I get you a drink? Have you fed yet?
I think this one has.
Really? What? Do you mind if I ask? What's?
I tried. It was cold. It was gross.
You drank from a dead body.
Yes, it was not the most pleasant thing I've ever tasted.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Don't drink from dead bodies. It's not nice. Not for us.
If only I had a sire around to have shown me that.
Yes, rather odd circumstances that you have no sires. Most of us, when we're embraced, know who our sire is. They're generally around to at least guide us on the first few nights. So
the fridge isn't a usual thing then?
Oh, you were in the fridge.
Jeff?
No, most of us don't end up in fridges.
Oh, good to know. We're just lucky.
Yeah. Well, I can offer you a drink if you so wish. Do you happen to know what you feel like you want to drink?
Marcus said there was possibly an option to not drink from people. Might take a wee bit longer to source, but...
You're talking about animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can be done. I don't have animal blood on tap here, unfortunately, so I can't offer you that.
Is there a way of possibly getting it later?
If by later you mean tomorrow, then
yeah,
I can certainly try and get you some for tomorrow. That's
that would
not
be
a
much
problem. I
appreciated.
can get Julia to go and get it. You know, when she's finished her shift. You know, maybe in the morning when the
Would be appreciated.
when the butchers are open. So you clearly like the animal blood, which is totally fine. You know.
Well, I don't know if I like it. I can't say I've been drinking a lot of it in the past, but
yeah,
I feel like it sits better with me at the moment to give that a go first.
It's a good instinct. If that's what your beast is telling you, then sure.
His beast?
Did Marcus not explain the... I'm gonna...
Don't go in the sunlight, you want to have blood. Inquisition's bad. Don't be hanging out with those guys.
So he partially explained it.
We were under a bridge. It looked like he was taking us there to kill us, quite frankly. So
Oh, we were chased by a van.
Right. Okay. And Elizabeth pulls her drawer open, and she pulls out an electric e-cig. She puts it in her mouth. Okay, so Marcus. Right. Well, he explained the hunger, which is good. He didn't explain why you need to state your hunger by the sounds of it.
He said something about property damage and murder. Figured that's what happens if you don't.
Yes, if you forget to drink.
Oh, in the Masquerade, because we ripped him something awful for it. And he did not appreciate that.
Yeah, that's a tradition that is honoured between all kindred.
Oh, it's a good tradition, but I mean, it's kind of running a wee bit to the stereotype, calling it the Masquerade, isn't it? Just a wee bit.
Quite possibly, but it's what it's been called for as long as it's been around. It's not been called anything else, and nobody has fought to change it. I have a feeling if we tried, the elders would probably throw up an arms about it. But more importantly, I really should explain to you about the beast, because if you get so hungry that you feel like you're not in control of yourself, that's because you are not. And there's this little thing inside of you, which is what we lovingly refer to as the beast. And if he gets grouchy, he is gonna take over your body, and he will find a way to slate that hunger, and that is not the best way.
So we need to control the hunger.
Yes. You might hear him talk to you from time to time, just in the back of your head. Try to ignore him. Don't give in. Don't play around. Might be a while until you actually hear from him, because you're so new.
So you said drinks could possibly get them?
Yes. So sorry. And Elizabeth points at you. Sorry, your name?
Oh, Dan.
So Dan and I will endeavour to sort you out some animal blood for tomorrow.
Appreciated.
And you are, and she points to you, Mel.
I'm Leah.
Leah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nice to meet you, Leah. Do you know if you have a preference, or just any old blood?
I'm just hungry.
You're just hungry. Okay, that's fine. And you are, sir?
Oh, Dr. Grayson.
Ah, doctor. Excellent. Okay. Same question. Do you have a feeling for what you might want? Or you just want?
There was a person in your club that automatically drew my eye when I came in.
Okay, see. So you have a type. That's a good sign. We can work on that. That's a good start. And you, my dear, you hold on a second. And she gets up from her chair and she walks to the left-hand side of the room where there are a set of doors. She opens the doors, and if you peek in, you can see it is a closet. And inside are some very nice fresh suits. And she just kind of flicks through. No, not that one. That one's suit. That one's too small. This one. And then she hands you a suit and just goes, there is a room next door if you want to get changed. I have a feeling you're like me and you don't really want to be in, a dirty suit.
Thank you very much. I've been asking for this since I woke up. Nobody else seems to have an impeccable taste like you, though.
Oh, thank you, my dear. I do try. What can I get you to drink, or are you just not picky at the moment?
I mean, I don't like the idea of taking it from someone who forcibly had it removed, I suppose. Maybe a willing participant?
Okay, well, the stuff that I've got on, let's say, demand is definitely willing, so I won't worry too much about that.
Well, I'll be fine. I'm going to go and get changed. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. You may use the room next door, and I will see about getting the blood sorted right now. She goes back to the desk and she sits down and presses the intercom. Julia, my dear. Yes, Elizabeth. My dear, can you bring up 3 goblets of the good stuff, please? Thank you. And then she leans back and she once again picks up her e-cig and takes another long puff on it. As it breathes out, you can kind of get the smell of regular tobacco. There's no like flavouring to it or anything. It just smells like you would get from a cigarette.
Thank you for helping us.
It is fine. Like I said, we were all fresh kindred once, and it's very clear that you weren't going to get help from your sires, given the circumstances that we were sort of alluded to. We weren't entirely sure what we were going to find at the site, so I guess our informant was right on the money, as per usual. Are there any other questions that Marcus didn't answer for you? I understand he can be a bit harsh sometimes, a little bit goofy, and not that helpful at times.
It's pretty helpful.
To be honest, I don't even know half the questions I'm going to have yet. Because I just woke up in a fridge.
That is understandable. I will give you one very important piece of advice. If you are going to be going out in the night time and walking around in public, being watched by Kine, it might be worth presenting yourself to look more human than you currently do. At the moment, your skin tone isn't quite darkened to a deathly looking state, but it will do over time. There is an ability that we have where we can rouse the blood to make ourselves look a bit more rosy.
All right.
It's a very easy thing to do. I can show you how to do it right now, and we'll see if you can replicate the results. So she kind of like sits there, and then after a moment or two, you notice that her cheeks start to get a light pink hue, and her skin tone goes a little bit lighter, less ashen colour, and she just looks a bit more alive, even though she's not blinking or breathing.
Yeah.
She just has the look of being alive and not looking like a corpse.
Is
Can I hear
there
all of this?
a
Yes.
tutorial
I
for
can.
how to get that down, or?
You call upon the powers of your blood. Your blood is special as kindred. We call it vitae rather than blood. You can, almost like closing your eyes and thinking about being alive, you can think about it and sort of, your blood will respond in such a way that you can bring yourself to a full blush, for example. Go ahead, try.
Makes as much sense as anything else tonight. Do I need to roll anything for that, or do I just...
Can you roll me a rouse check, which is just one of your dice, please?
Just a dice?
I believe so. I can't remember if it's a red one or a regular one. I feel like it's just a regular
Red one.
Or it might be a red one. I think it's a red one. We'll go with a red one. It's not red.
That is a pass. That's a 7.
Okay, so as you think about what Elizabeth has just said to you, you find that thinking about bringing on an appearance of life rather than unlife, your blood reacts in such a way, and you can feel it inside yourself. It's almost like a bubbling feeling, and it bubbles inside of you, swells, and then the colour rushes back to your face, and you look human again. You look alive. Yeah, excellent. So there is one thing you have learned tonight. You have learned to hide yourself better in these dark nights when you are surrounded by the kind.
Don't look dead lessons. Okay. Okay. I rolled a pass on it as well. I'm going to give it a go.
Also passed.
You both, same thing. You feel your blood bubbling up inside of you and activating the powers of what we call the blush of life. And you both take on the appearance of a more alive person than you currently are. Beth, are you coming back into the room? Or?
I was, yeah. I'll roll first. I got 1, so.
You got failed. You don't, you get a point hungrier.
I get a point hungrier.
Yep.
Oh dear. In that case, I'm gonna come out of the room and I'm gonna have a face on me. I'm gonna be really quite annoyed. I can't seem to do this. Have you got any blusher, eyeliner, anything?
I have some minor makeup with me. I don't generally tend to wear it very often, I'm gonna be honest. But and she just opens her drawer and she kind of looks through and she's like, oh, it's a bit of blush, yes, and there's an eyeliner that's been in there for the last year or so, and she just passes them over. She's like, use them as you will. There is a toilet just down the hall with a mirror if you wish to use it.
Oh, so it's not like in the books then? I can actually see myself in a mirror?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Again, that's another kind thing of the whole, vampires can't see their appearance in the mirror. Well, there is a certain clan of vampires that aren't able to see themselves in the mirror, and then she looks at you and she's like, actually, that's a good point. And then she looks at all of you. You probably have no idea which clan of kindred you belong to.
I didn't know there were clans until about 3 seconds ago, so that would be a correct assumption.
Ah. Okay. So you will also not know of the different. Oh boy, this is gonna be a long call. And then she goes
think how it feels from this side.
She goes to press the intercom button, and just as she does it, Julia steps through the door, and she's just like carrying a tray. She's like, "Got your drinks," and puts down. She just places it on the table like a heavy thud, and she's like, "I'm just gonna leave this here, and you can deal with it however you wish. You need to go back because he hasn't turned up again, Elizabeth, where is she? I'm on my own, so." And Elizabeth just kind of, again, takes another drag on her e-cig. She's like, he is driving me insane, that boy. Okay, I'll give him a call in a bit and see where he is and why he's not here. But back you go. And Julia leaves the room. Right, okay, so things you should know about Kindred is, well, there are 2 sets. You have the Camarilla and you have the Anarchs. And there's technically another one, but we don't talk about them because that is a bad time for everyone. So they're not important right now, and hopefully they'll not be important anytime soon in your life or on life. The Camarilla are the ones who maintain the masquerade the most, I would say, probably they rule it a bit more with an iron fist. They have more rules. They have a person in charge of cities all across the world. They call themselves princes, and the prince has followers underneath who do certain things. Things like a sheriff who keeps the law, and scourge, and all these things that hopefully you don't need to hear about unless you're actually in trouble with the prince, which, given the city that you're in currently, is not going to happen. They're the ones who will tell you that things like this, and she points to the laptop, are a no-go. I imagine Marcus also probably mentioned that technology is a bit iffy with Kindred. It's a personal choice for a lot of people, but for the Camarilla, it's a huge no. It's how London fell a while ago. And that's how the Second Inquisition has come back into play, so be careful. You have the Anarchs on the other side, who are basically trying to overthrow the Camarilla and everything that they stand for, because they stand for another thing. So you have two matching sides here. Anarch-ruled domains have people called barons. And there might be one baron, there might be several barons of an area. They are the ones who uphold the law and what goes on in their sort of group. And then you have the actual clans of the Kindred. I myself are of Clan Gangrel, which I realise means absolutely nothing to you.
Not a shot.
No, I didn't think so. I can turn myself into a wolf, for example, because that's one of the powers that I get from my clan.
So you're a vampire that can turn into a werewolf?
Not a werewolf. I'm a vampire that can turn into a wolf. I'm not a werewolf. They are different things.
I mean, okay. Sounds like semantics, but okay.
I'm gonna go for my drink. I'm not like, wait, yeah, I'm just.
As soon as Elizabeth sees you go for the drinks, she's just like, oh yeah, sorry, yeah, help yourself. They're all the same, so there's no difference. Are you taking a drink from the goblet?
I am.
Okay. You can, if you're drinking the whole thing, or are you just drinking?
I mean, I'm sipping it, and I'm listening.
Okay.
To
As you go about sipping it, you can reduce yourself back down to 1 liter.
Leah takes one and starts to sip, and then kind of is like, oh no, this is really good, and like just drains it.
And same for you, Mel, drop your hunger back down to 1.
Yeah, do the same.
And drop your hunger back down to 1.
Probably a little bit, almost a little bit sloppy. Probably little bits of blood.
Okay, I was on 3. Do I drop that down to 2?
Yeah, just drop it all the way down to
Oh, okay.
1.
Cool.
For the purposes of this story, right now, this is dropping you to 0. But normally, would only drop you 1. But I'm not supplying you with copious amounts of blood. Okay, so yeah, more clans. You have the clan of kings. They're called Clan of Ventru. They're very business related. They tend to be really good at politics and finance and all that sort of stuff. Generally, in the Camarilla, if there's a prince ruling, it's normally a Ventru, but sometimes it can be another clan. You have Clan Toreador. They are very fancy people. They have impeccable dressing sense. They're the kind of people you're going to stay on a walkway. They like art. They like pretty things. They're good at performing, crafting. You know, that kind of group of people.
Pointed look towards Grace. Just, okay.
What else? You have Clan Bruja, who are the type of people who will start a fight and ask questions after everyone is knocked out. They are generally the people doing all of the fighting and riding on motorbikes and stuff. Marcus is a bourgeois.
That
Are they
that
all as rude as
tracks.
he is?
Sorry, what was that? Ben?
Oh, are they all as rude as he is?
Not necessarily. They can be quite nice. They're just your general rough, ready and tumbling kind of people. Who else do we have? Clan Malkavian. They are, for lack of a better word, bizarre. They talk, well, not all of them, but the majority of them will talk in riddles and rhymes and see things that perhaps others don't see. You can kind of say they're like seers and prophets of the old times.
Love to get my hands on one.
Very odd, very oddly behaving. I'm pretty sure if you attached them to one of those little brainwave machines, you know, it would break. Who else? Ooh, Nosferatu. That's a point. And she presses the intercom button, and she just, Terence, are you there? And then there's nothing. There is no reply. She just sits there and waits for a moment. And then, standing behind her, out of thin air, appears a gentleman who is wearing a tracksuit and has horrific features. He just looks gaunt, like his skin is ripping away from him. He looks repulsive. And Elizabeth doesn't even turn around. She's aware that he's there, and she goes, "You have Clan Nosferatu," which generally they all look a bit like Terence here, and Terence kind of goes, "Aye, we're all a little bit, yeah, we look like garbage, but good garbage. We got a good network, we have." Yes, thank you, Terence. Terence then puffs away again. So you have those people. He's actually one of our doormen.
I've literally seen corpses that look healthier than that person.
That is unfortunately the clan curse, as it's called. Unfortunately, everyone who is part of Clan Nosferatu will look like that.
Are we not going to address the fact that that guy just puffed in and out of existence, or was that just me that noticed that? Everybody else perfectly cool with?
I think I will be honest in saying I'm in some sort of shock. Everything kind of seems relatively okay to me right now, which I am recognizing is not a normal response.
Yeah, it can be a bit overwhelming, and I understand I'm bombarding you with information, but it is information that I feel you should know at least to begin with, so you have a vague idea.
At least
what
we.
you've got yourself into.
Are there any more of these clans? Is there going to be a quiz afterwards?
Oh no, there's no quiz. Just talk.
I was going to say, I feel like I need to be taking notes.
Well, at least we can figure out none of us are Nosferatu, at least.
It would be very obvious if you're Nosferatu, but I'm going to be honest. I can't really put my finger on any of you at the moment. There is one way I could find out. And she looks to you, Luke, and she goes, would you mind passing me your finger for a moment? I'm going to take some of your blood and see if I can tell from your blood.
You know what? Fuck it, why not?
Okay,
What?
so
Yeah, tell me what my clan is from my blood. Go for it. Power on. And he just like thrusts an hand out, just like,
take it.
okay.
STDs be damned.
Yeah, well,
No
you know what?
thing.
What's
So-
it going to do now?
What's it gonna do now? Well, I'll tell you what it's gonna do. So Elizabeth takes your hand, she takes your finger, and she brings it to her mouth, and she just like lingers it there, and she just goes, "Is this okay? I need to prick your finger with my fangs so I can get a dot of blood."
Not loving it, but I'll see where this goes.
Okay. So she takes your finger and she just lightly sticks it against her fang, and a little bead of blood pools at your finger, and she just swipes it off with her other finger. She doesn't take it any other way. She doesn't like put her finger in your mouth and just like sucks it off. She just takes it gently, and then she dabs it on her tongue.
With the undertones, like, what you getting? Hints of
Okay,
grape
so-
and citrus. I don't know how this works. You're gonna.
So, okay, your 13th generation. Okay, so that's good. It means you're not one of the bad generation. It's a good sign. Interesting. Definitely not what I would have pegged you for. Turns out you're part of Clan Tremere. Interesting. Very
Mention
interesting.
that one.
No, it is a clan. I haven't mentioned all of them, and I just mentioned the few that tend to be frequent. Tremeres don't come around very often. Interesting. Okay. Tremere kindred can do what we call blood sorcery.
It just gives you the weirdest look, just like
This
What?
facial expression is literally what you just call it.
It might be something that you also have access to. I don't know. It depends.
Do they usually do this through the art of flower arranging? And what's
No.
blood magic? Are you?
Yes. I mean, I'm now a little bit worried because if you do have blood sorcery, and I've just tasted your blood, and there is a possibility that you could have. Oh dear. Well, I really hope that doesn't come to be.
He'll just kind of like slowly sit back down and just be like,
Elizabeth
right,
then
does
looks-
anyone else want to be used as a whatever? Read your fortune,
You read your
tell you what generation you are. I don't know. Jesus. Christ.
Elizabeth looks around the rest of you, and she's just like, I can do the same for the rest of you if you so wish.
a hand, like, come on.
Okay. So again, Elizabeth takes a hold, nips your finger against her fan, and then uses her other finger to wipe the blood away. And again, puts it on the tip of her tongue, and puts her tongue back in her mouth. And... Okay. Same generation. 13th generation. Yeah. Clan Bruja. Interesting. What did you do as a job when you were a Kine?
I'm a close protection bodyguard.
Well, that makes sense. Okay, so you and she looks at you. She's like, "Yes, you're clearly built like a Bruja. Really surprised I didn't get that on the first look. I must be slacking." And she kind of looks you up and down again and goes, "Hmm." And then she looks
Okay.
between Sean and Beth.
would you like to go first, dear?
I mean, I feel that there's probably a more sanitary way of doing this rather than putting my finger and getting bitten.
I mean, you're
Well, yes,
literally
I suppose.
drinking blood hen, like, just...
I mean, how often is it that you get a tooth that breaks your finger? A needle?
Throw the baby out with the bathwater, look, just go along with the ride. It's...
If you don't want me to use my fang, I have a letter opener in my desk. I can use that.
I mean, it just seems slightly
Oh, now she
cleaner.
tells us.
The fang was a quicker way of doing it. Less chance of me slicing your finger.
Go on, Petal, go lose a finger. Off you hop.
In this case, I suppose the fang will do. Just please don't ruin my manicure.
I will be very, very careful not to ruin your manicure, my dear. She takes your finger and, again, like everyone else, pricks it against her fang, wipes the blood away, puts the blood in her tongue. Sensing a theme here, you roll 13th generation. That's good. Anything lower, and we'd have some issues. Oh. Oh. Well. That's new. Seems you're of the ministry.
I mean, it sounds important, so I suppose it fits. What do they do?
The ministry, well, they've recently rebranded themselves to that. They used to be, well, they still are, I suppose, worshippers of Set,
Oh,
the Egyptian god.
Pretty sure I know quite a bit about that.
Oh, really? How so?
I'm gonna basically reel off a bunch of fancy information about Egypt.
I see you have done research. That's probably why you're ministry. Clearly somebody has been targeting you all for specific reasons. And then she just looks at you, Sean, and she's just like, what was your profession in life, my dear?
I was the head of psychological research at Bethlehem Asylum.
Oh, no. Well, I have a feeling I don't need to try your blood to figure out what that could possibly mean, given the theme that was going on with everyone else. But just to be on the safe side, would you mind?
Instead of offering a finger, he rolls up his sleeve and offers a wrist where there is already a pretty obvious scar of teeth marks.
Thank you. She just kind of looks and goes, all right, okay. And she brings your wrist up to her mouth, gently closes her fangs down, and takes just the smallest amount of blood before licking the wound close and moving back into the chair once again, sort of. Yep, I was right. Clan Malkavian.
Oh, fantastic. The ones that you said were bizarre and strange.
Yes. You will find as your nights go on that your derangement will start appearing.
Ah, good. My derangement. Fantastic.
Sounds like fun. So you punch stuff because you punch stuff. You do something with Egyptians because you said a bunch of stuff that I'm presuming was Egypt related. You used to work with folk that needed psychological care. Now you're probably going to need psychological care. And some woman wrote a book about wizards in the city that I have a shop, so now I'm a wizard. What the fuck?
I'm sorry, a woman wrote a book about wizards in the city that you have a shop in?
I don't... that's as good as my guess. I arrange flowers for a living.
Well,
I don't do anything with blood magic.
You could still arrange flowers, just for your own living. There's no reason you can't maintain a business. It just
So I
means
can just head back up to Edinburgh and get on with.
you could, but I would highly unadvise doing so.
Well, we were looking at opening a branch down. Can I do that? I'm allowed to.
If you wish, I can help you get set up. I'm rather good at business stuff. I'm sure we can arrange getting your flower shop open up in the local area.
Okay, we can work with this. We can.
Experiments. Is there a phone we can access?
Did
Not
you
necessarily
just
right
say
now.
Did you just say my experiments?
Yes.
But you work at an asylum.
Yes, not on the people. I'm a researcher, remember? Scientist.
Aye, but you look like an extra off a Frankenstein film.
Says the person who apparently can do blood magic. Can we not split hairs?
If it involves lilies and petunias, aye, what the... He just kind of like goes a wee bit limp and just kind of like stares into the middle distance. It's just kind of got all a wee bit too much.
Elizabeth's just sat back in her chair with her babe and she's just chuckling lightly. It all seems very straining and exhausting and scary now, but I do promise you it does get easier.
I suppose it either has to get easier or we fail.
And if you go down the route of failing, then worry not, somebody will take care of it.
What doesn't kill you gives you unhealthy coping mechanisms. Noted. We can do this.
The good news is you're here and I can help you and our benefactor can help you. You're in relatively safe hands here, probably more so than if you had woken up in another city that was ruled by either a prince or a baron who looks less favourably on fledglings. You have that going for you, I guess.
What about families? What do we do about our families?
You don't masquerade, so no is generally the answer for that.
So will they not come looking for us?
The likely chances is the Second Inquisition has already put something in place to say that you are dead and possibly already told your families. If they were holding you, they'll have covered their tracks quite well.
I mean, it didn't hold us very well for very long. Maybe they didn't cover their tracks very well either.
Do you remember the last date before today? Do you even know what today is?
No.
Not a clue.
Well, if I was to say to you, it's the 11th of March 2020, what's the last day you can actually remember? I'm going to go by the fact none of you said yesterday that it is longer than you were expecting.
Yes.
I think one job I was on. Yeah.
I have a feeling the Inquisition were holding you for a lot longer than you think they were.
Does your computer there have internet by any chance?
It does. Do you need to send an email?
I was thinking more maybe you could search our names and see if you can find out what they said might have happened to us.
Ah, I understand. Yes, I can do a quick internet search, or I can get one of my associates to do a quick internet search rather than me. And that might draw up a bit of attention if somebody is checking. I do have a VPN on. Doesn't mean somebody can't get through and look at my search history.
Yeah, we maybe don't want to go Google the 4 folk that have just gone missing from the care of the Inquisition.
I mean, if it was something dramatic that had happened, where all 4 of us had died on the same day, at the same time.
At completely different ends of the country.
It has been known to happen before, perhaps not at other ends of the country. Myself and my previous coterie members were all embraced at exactly midnight on New Year's Eve. On the millennium of the new year, should I say. So there's nothing to suggest that you couldn't all have been embraced at the exact same time on the exact same day, but in different parts of the country.
And 2 of us are from London.
Yes, which is rather strange, because as far as I'm aware, a lot of the kindred from London had fled to other cities because of the fall. So that brings up more questions.
There are so many questions, and I'm sure that more are going to come to our minds before long.
Well, I think I have divulged a lot of information tonight. I don't really want to put more on you and confuse you more than I have. So I suggest that you stay here for the evening. You can go downstairs, or you can stay up here if you so wish. And when it is time for the sun to rise, I will show you the basement, and you can go to sleep down there.
Oh,
do you
yes.
sleep in coffins?
Some kindred do. More civilized people will lie in a bed. There are some cots down there. They're there for emergency. Comfort isn't something you really worry about when you're asleep, because when you're asleep during the daytime, you're essentially a corpse. You can't feel anything. So it doesn't really matter what you're sleeping on. You can sleep on the hard floor. It makes no difference.
I beg to differ. I've always struggled to sleep without my temper mattress.
Oh, dear gods.
Well, unfortunately, my dear, I don't have a timber mattress in the basement. I just have, let's call them just camp bed cots sort of things. They're a bit bigger than a camp bed, a bit more roomy, but they're still just a camp bed.
Okay.
Guess
Yes.
what? Staying
That's what we're doing then.
Yep.
So, as you potter about the rest of the evening, whether or not you are down in the nightclub enjoying the views, or if you are sat upstairs in Elizabeth's company as she types away on her computer and generally just thinking about your new undead life, it gets to the point where Elizabeth stands up from her desk and she says, okay, it's nearly sunrise, so best to take you down to the basement. You can rest there. It's secure. There won't be anyone who's going to come in, and I will be back when the sun sets later this evening, I suppose. And she takes you all down back into the club, and then down another set of stairs, and into a basement where there are 4 cots set up. They've got like just a thin sleeping bag on them and a pillow, so that they look slightly more comfy than they actually are. It's a very generic basement. There's like a couple of boxes which you can assume is filled with alcohol and stuff like that. But there's nothing descriptive in here. And she looks at you all and she just gestures to the bed and she goes, well, good night, have a restful sleep, and I will see you in a few hours' time.
So, despite everything, thank you for doing this for us.
It's fine. I'll do it for any new kindred who find themselves in this area.
Just one question. Have you got something I could change into? I would hate to ruin this outfit of yours.
Unfortunately, I don't have a spare set of pajamas. I will bring you some next time. Maybe you can just take the suit off once you get into the sleeping bag, or ask your friends here to turn around whilst you change and get into the sleeping bag.
Well, thank you very much.
And so Elizabeth leaves the room, she shuts the door behind her, and you all climb into your little temporary beds. And as you lay down, you find your eyes naturally closing shut. And you're at peace. But when you sleep, you are dead. And that is where we're going to leave our very first session.
Woo! Yay!
We didn't do anything too horrible.
Yeah, gosh. Didn't go on a murderous rampage and kill everyone.
Yeah.
I think we were perfectly civilized.
Oh,
Yeah.
how long will that last? I do wonder. How long before somebody, stabs Grace for being too prissy?
I mean, she had her moments. She very nearly.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So, thank you very much, everyone who stuck around to watch. It's been great. The chat has been absolutely booming. So honestly, thank you guys, because we love the support. We love the enthusiasm we've been getting on the chat. The campaign that I'm actually running, you can actually get yourself off the Morpheus website. It is the Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition starter set. It costs a grand total of £5, and honestly, it is worth the money. You get so much stuff in here. You can use it to start your own vampire game like we've been doing, and tweak it as you go along to fit worlding that you want to tell, or you can just play it exactly as it is written. It gives you absolutely everything. It gives you pre-generated character sheets, it gives you victim cards, it gives you a reference guide, a relationship map, and the actual story guide itself, which I think is about 7 or 8 chapters. It is loaded. For £5, it is a great start to a collection if you're wanting to get into Vampire the Masquerade, which I highly recommend. It is a great game. It has some great storytelling aspects to it. Tomorrow will be the good old cyberpunk game, of which I have forgotten the name of.
Carbon 2020.
Carbon 2020, which will be run
2185.
2185. 2 possible
It's late.
1. Yeah, it's late. So Carbon 2020 tomorrow with Heavy as the DM. Tune in tomorrow at 8 PM British summertime once again. And yeah, tune in next Wednesday to see how the new fledglings get on their second night. Say bye-bye, players.
Bye-bye,
Bye,
players.
players.